Hello, welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Pedro Pascal, do you really think he quit? I don't. I've stood by that statement numerous times. I don't see why he would have quit The Mandalorian. There's just simply no reason. In a world, in the future anyway, where series and seasons and things like that are going to be under tighter restrictions because the world's gone COVID mad, he literally has the easiest of paydays. He can just phone it in while someone else stands in the suit, because of course season 1 he wasn't actually really in the suit that much. Now this is a rumour which originated from Grace Randolph, and I firmly don't believe it. I just don't buy that Pedro Pascal's that much of a diva. If you didn't know, in the final scene where Pedro Pascal removes his helmet, he'd actually had a real injury. He had busted up his nose. So he's not someone that's that much of a diva. It just doesn't make sense. And he's also promoting The Mandalorian quite actively. And I know, it could be in his contract and things like this, but if the contracts are severed, well, he doesn't really have to promote it. So this is some further rumours to provide basically an update on whether he has gone or not, and then the ins and outs around it. Now I'll leave this article link down below. Let's give a bit of background. So from Grace Randolph, she said, and this is where it originated from: while filming season 2, Pedro Pascal really wanted to have some scenes with his helmet off. One reason why I disagree with that is, well, one, he would have been signed on to multiple seasons. That's how Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, everyone do their contracts. He also would have had it pitched to him that it's Mandalorian, he doesn't take his helmet off, are you okay with this? That is genuinely what would have happened. So for him to suddenly go, well, I've got a problem with this now, doesn't really make a lot of sense. It is really, really, come on now. Now she did add, the Mandalorian creative team wouldn't budge on this, which I can believe that much, but I can't believe he would have gone to them with that is an issue. So Pedro Pascal, from what she had heard from 2 sources, was frustrated about this and also was pretty darn uncomfortable in the Mando suit on set, so he became difficult. Well, I'm sure the suit is difficult to wear. I'm sure it is. But again, remember, this is a person that had a real injury on set. When he took his helmet off, that was a real injury, and he filmed through it. He's not a diva. I'm sure the suit is uncomfortable, but he was barely there on set for the first season. Well, he was there, but wasn't around that much. He did a lot of ADR work. So I don't really see what the issue would be or how that would even crop up. Now, the final straw was that when he went to Lucasfilm, from what I've heard from my sources, so this is Grace Randolph, to try to get them to intervene on his behalf, and you combine that with Lucasfilm already trying to get involved with story aspects of Season 2, which I've also heard, including focusing more on standalone episodes rather than making them more connected, which I've heard the Mandalorian creative team wanted to do, which was kind of happening at the end of Season 1. So when Pedro Pascal went to Lucasfilm, the Mando team was like, you know what, you should just go. Pedro Pascal did, and that happened halfway through filming. They'd long finished filming The Mandalorian Season 2. If this was going to come out, it would have come out when that happened. They had long finished. Now, the updated rumour comes from another YouTuber, Doomcock, and he basically provides some details on Randolph. Now, I've given my side of this. I just don't think anyone in their right mind would believe this. I think it is absolute nonsense. I know friends of the channel, Andre over at Midnight's Edge, does believe something has happened, but it's fine now. So I guess they're taking a more middle of the road approach on it. I just simply can't believe this. I just think it's nonsense. You got one actor on one hand having the dream job in a world quite literally catering to that job right now. Like, an actor's going to be scrambling for a paycheck where he doesn't even have to be there. I mean, that's awesome, right? He's got the ideal job for the current climate. Why would he quit? Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. And if he did quit, he'd be quick to get that job back because of the current climate. So hearing about it now doesn't make any sense. You normally hear about it when it happens. But anyway, Doomcock says, look, it's all rumour, unverified, take it with a grain of salt, which is always the case. But again, I've given my stance on all of this, so you know what I think. But basically, he gets into information that he's heard from his sources, and he said his main source didn't actually hear anything about Pedro Pascal walking off the set of Season 2 of The Mandalorian. So he explains that initially, one of my best sources claimed that he or she didn't know anything about there being problems with Pedro Pascal. My source claims that Pedro didn't walk off the show, as rumoured, and Season 2 has been finished quite a while, and they're moving forward with production on Season 3 and 4, he added. That's completely believable. Of course they would be. Of course they would. And of course they would have finished filming. America, so anyone watching in the UK know that our ongoing seasons and things like that actually film pretty much consecutively and then they release it. They don't do a whole season and then wrap, then release. A lot of American shows will do a whole season, wrap, release, and then wait and then start production on the next one. So this had been wrapped for a while. This has been wrapped for a while because they're doing all the post effects. But however, he would hear a different story from another source. So, according to this source, one of our most reliable insiders, there is indeed a problem with Pedro Pascal. Pedro has felt very frustrated at being hidden in a mask, and he wanted more FaceTime on the show. His source claims that Pedro Pascal was jealous over Gina Carano and Baby Yoda getting all the attention when he is the actual star of the show, and this did indeed lead to some friction. This, I don't believe. Again, I just simply don't believe it. That I can believe that actors are like that, but everyone knows that Pedro Pascal has done a great job on The Mandalorian, and The Mandalorian is so well liked. So I can't imagine he'd have an issue with that, if that makes any sense. I can't fathom it. And again, I know that actors are drama queens, I'm aware, but I can't imagine that this is the case. Now, he does appear to cite two other sources, and he begins saying, so my initial source admitted that Pedro Pascal was unhappy with the mask situation, but claimed it wasn't as ugly as Randolph had depicted it. Pascal never went to Kathleen Kennedy, as the claims say. According to my source, Kennedy is completely marginalised as far as The Mandalorian goes. That's pretty much what we know anyway. She has no power to change anything Favreau and Filoni want to do at this point. So any suggestions that Pascal wanted to get Kathleen Kennedy to intercede for him are reportedly bogus, which I can believe that, yeah. Now, this source claims that Pedro Pascal only mentioned the situation to George Lucas one day while George Lucas was visiting the set. So this source claims that while indeed Pascal was unhappy about the situation, the whole incident was being blown out of proportion. I mean, that I can believe that as well. Someone hears something, or he says something in passing, like, "Oh, it's a bit uncomfortable in that suit, eh?" Or, "Oh," a lot of things get thrown out even in humour. Like I say things offhand that are meant as jokes, but people genuinely take them seriously, and I go, "Christ, really?" He might have just been, a bit jealous of Gina. Oh, that Baby Yoda, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, all these things can be misconstrued so quickly. Now, he goes on to say, people this source has spoken to claim that the situation has been addressed, and my source couldn't understand why this was all being brought up now. My source concluded that they could neither confirm nor deny that Pedro Pascal will be in Season 3 of The Mandalorian. According to this last-minute source, Pedro Pascal did indeed speak to George Lucas on the set of The Mandalorian one day, and he knew that Favreau and Filoni both respect George's opinion, and he was hoping that George could make Favreau and Filoni see the light, look at things from Pascal's perspective, and get him some FaceTime on the show. This apparently didn't work, and at that point the problems began. Pascal allegedly became very difficult to work with. He would pull the helmet off in the middle of scenes without warning. Can't believe that. He started getting his lines wrong, showing up for work late. His attitude started causing a lot of friction on set, that at one point he was told to leave the set. This apparently is the source of the rumour that he walked off the set. It seems he didn't quit so much as he was told to get the F out. But here's the kicker, folks. My initial source said the situation was resolved, and they could neither confirm nor deny that Pedro Pascal will return for Season 3 of The Mandalorian. Wouldn't be called The Mandalorian, would it? And then he continues and says, well, my news source claims the situation is resolved all right. Pedro Pascal will not be returning to the set of The Mandalorian from Season 3 onward. He will only be recording lines for The Mandalorian. But that can be in conjunction with coronavirus. He will no longer be appearing on camera. It will be someone else in the suit, which that was the case for Season 1 anyway. This satisfies Pascal. He will have to work a lot less and will no longer have to be shoved into that uncomfortable costume all day. And it satisfies the crew, as the guy in the suit will no longer be pulling off his helmet in the middle of takes and complaining to George Lucas. Look, there seems to be some validity behind certain bits and pieces, but I just think to myself, this is Pedro Pascal, like a dude that actually had a real injury. I can't picture him being that much of a drama queen. But I could be completely wrong, and I'm open to being completely wrong, because at the end of the day, actors can be absolute pansies. So, but here you go, there's my thoughts. I still don't really believe it. It seems like a dream job. I don't believe it. But I'm open to being wrong. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. If you are new here, please do hit subscribe. Please do give this video a like and a share. It really does help the channel out. And if you supported my film Black Fields, you might be interested in I'm making another one. There is a GoFundMe to that linked down below. Check it out. It's a Lovecraft film. Anyway, guys, I've been... get my words out. Anyway, I've been Mr. H. Take care.